What's up YouTube? It's RS Mario here. And well, alright, so here's the thing that happened here today. Now, I was testing out this new mic, I was playing around with the new mic, you know, messing with the features and everything. And I straight up forgot that I had no videos planned for today. Insane, right? Because the core Zelda and Pokemon videos, are technically next Friday and Saturday, and I completely forgot that I had no videos planned for today. Just for you guys, I came up with something on the fly, which is something I don't like to do, because I'm not really. I mean, when it comes to this, I'm not really that good at on the fly type of stuff, but I did come up with another top 8 video, and this one is based around remakes. Alright, next year, there's a rumor going around that Nintendo is supposed to be doing one remake for every month of 2015. Presumably starting with the Xenoblade remake for 3DS. A lot of people are thinking, including myself, are thinking that the reason why they actually increased the power and the speed of the 3DS is for this very reason, is to make remakes of games on 3DS. That's kind of what I was thinking, and these remakes, of course, would be Wii remakes. So here we go, we're going to get into the list. Top 8 games that Nintendo they should remake on Wii U, on 3DS next year. If this video does good, I'll probably do a Wii U version of this too. So let's go. Fatal Frame. This one actually came up lately, even though we do have a Fatal Frame game on 3DS. But I'm talking about a remake of the Fatal Frame 2 port from the Wii. Now, why would you want another Fatal Frame game on 3DS? Well, I mean, the 3DS will be perfect for this. Like, the 3DS has the gyroscopics and the what do they call it? Oh man, it's the augmented reality stuff. That allows you to basically move the entire console, to move the camera, and to move the screen, which is actually awesome. Just think about the Pokédex 3D, and how you had to move the entire camera in order to look and try to capture Pokemon in Pokédex 3D. And imagine that in a Fatal Frame game. Now, I did not play the Fatal Frame game on 3DS, so I don't know if that feature is implemented in the game. But just imagine they could do that with the Fatal Frame 2 3DS. That would be awesome. Not to mention, this could also be kind of like a starting point, or like a setup point for Fatal Frame 5, which is Wii U exclusive. But Fatal Frame also is making an appearance in Smash Bros. Wii U in the form of a trophy. The two sisters from Fatal Frame are actually a trophy in Smash Brothers, so that could be a hint, The last story. Alright, now the last story is one of the 3 Project Rainfall games that were petitioned a few years back on the Wii, that included Xenoblade and Pandora's Tower. To me personally, Last Story was the one I really wanted out of this. That's why I signed the petition. The Last Story is from the guys at Mistwalker. A lot of people from Mistwalker, including Hironobu Sakaguchi, are former Square Enix guys, and they actually worked on the Final Fantasy games back in the day. And they're an awesome team. And The Last Story was kind of like their Final Fantasy, because it's kind of like their last console game, at least for a while, because now they're doing mainly mobile stuff, which is still awesome. It's Terra Battle. I'm gonna get that game next time I get the chance. But the reason why I believe The Last Story could and should get a remake on the 3DS is simply because, like, it's an awesome game, you know, and it's one of those hidden gems that you really didn't hear too much about on Wii U, on Wii, and the main reason you did hear about it was because of Project Rainfall, and, you know, Xenoblade kind of stole its thunder. And actually, there are no other games on the Nintendo Wii that have 6-player online co-op. Yeah, 6 players. Alright, Monster Hunter has 4. You know, Last Story has 6. And the netcode is actually not that bad. Mario Galaxy. Alright, so why am I saying Mario Galaxy and why is it number 6? Well, because this one is, it's not that likely. Because we have a ton of Mario games, you know, and especially on 3DS. I believe there are 3. You know, and Mario Galaxy is a possibility because it was one of the biggest games on Wii. And if they are pulling from the Wii, you know, to do these remakes on 3DS, I do not see why Mario Galaxy wouldn't get the first pick. Now, this could very well be a, you know, more than likely, at least what I would do if I was Nintendo, is I would make this a Wii U port, you know, and have Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 on the same disc. But, more than likely, this will be, you know, if they wanted to, this could be a game, this could be a 3DS port, you know, which would be awesome. You know, can you imagine Mario Galaxy on 3DS? And then, of course, all the pointer stuff that you did with the little pointer stuff to get the little gems and things like that. You can actually use your stylus to do that instead of using the Wii controller, the Wiimote. You know, so that would actually be pretty cool. Alright, so this one is a little bit less of a long shot, even though it's been done like 20,000 times. But Resident Evil 4. Alright, Resident Evil 4 was one of the best games to come out on the Wii. And the Wii version of Resident Evil 4 was one of the definitive versions of Resident Evil 4. You know, the PS2 version was pretty good, the GameCube version was pretty good, but the Wii version was awesome because it actually takes advantage of the Wii's unique controls. You know, pointing and shooting is incredible. If you have not played Resident Evil 4, I advise you to play the Wii version. You know, if you have a Wii U, go out, find the Wii version of Resident Evil 4 on eBay or at GameStop, buy it. Alright, it is the best version of that game. You know, the controls are just way better, and you can imagine, you know, them possibly, you know, putting some touch controls in there, you know, so you won't be able to aim with your pointer, you know, with the Wii controller, but you'll be able to aim with, say, a thumb stylus. The thumb stylus will act as a joystick, or either you can use the simple joystick on the Wii, on the, why do I keep saying that, on the 3DS itself. So, Resident Evil 4 is a very big possibility. Even though it's been remade to death, I would totally go for a remake on 3DS. You know, next is one game that people have been clamoring for. That should have been out already on at least either 3DS, Wii U, or even Wii for that matter, and that's Pokemon Snap. Alright, can you imagine Pokemon Snap on 3DS? Let's go back to Fatal Frame. What I said about Fatal Frame and it being like Pokédex 3D, and using the augmented reality stuff to be able to move around in order to take pictures of ghosts. The same thing would go for Pokemon Snap on 3DS. And it would be cooler, you imagine you walking down the street and, you're taking pictures of Pokemon on Pokemon Snap and you actually have to turn. you know, to take pictures of that, you know, that elusive Nidoran or whatever. You know, it would be incredible, you know, to use augmented reality with, you know, Pokemon Snap. You know, you can also use the AR codes to actually, you know, possibly upload Pokemon, like say from the Pokemon trading card game. You know, since they actually have AR codes now to go with your iPad or your PC, you can actually use those AR codes to upload those very same Pokemon into your Pokemon Snap. You know, so that way, you know, you can find and take pictures of those Pokemon as well. And the next game is probably one of the ones I had the hardest time really thinking about, and it's kind of like one of the more least likely ones on this list because it's already happened, kind of, sorta, and that's The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Alright, so the reason I put this one on here is because having this game remade on 3DS would really push the reason for having the new 3DS be more powerful than the 3DS. You know, that way you can say, oh, the reason why it's more powerful is so we can do things like this and have a not uber high res, but somewhat high res Twilight Princess running on a portable game console would be awesome. I would totally play Twilight Princess again. You know, I played it on Wii. I would play it on 3DS, and having, you know, dual stick controls, you know, will kind of get rid of the touch controls that some people thought was tiresome. I actually kind of like the touch controls. You know, I mean, they were kind of annoying at times, like rolling, you know, having to draw a circle on a specific point on the screen did kind of suck. But other than that, I actually quite enjoyed the touch controls in games like you know, Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass. But if that's not cool with all people, I mean, that, you know, whatever. You know, the new 3DS has, you know, the joystick and the C stick, so, you know, that will alleviate people's discomfort in that regard. But a Legend of Zelda game, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess on 3DS would be awesome. Even though this would more than likely, if they did this, would probably be a Wii U remake, but a 3DS remake is not out of the question. Or either what they could do is they could do something similar to what Sony does, and they could have the games come out on both systems. I mean, they did it with Smash Brothers. They could totally do it with other games too. And of course, this one, everyone knows this game is going to be on the list anyway. It's on everybody's list of games. It should be remade on Wii U or a 3DS, and that is Majora's Mask. Alright. The reason why is because, one, they remade Ocarina of Time, so Majora's Mask is a direct sequel. Everybody thinks they should remake Majora's Mask, but you know, they haven't done that yet. Even though there are clamorings of it, you know, people are thinking that they're going to do it, you know, because so many people have been talking about it. Nintendo is bound to do it to get that money. Also, it would be a kind of like a starting point into the big hype train for Zelda Wii U. It's going to end next year, next holiday time. You know, there's also, if you check, well, you know, I'll explain more in the Zelda video coming up on Saturday, that, you know, there's a lot of contrast between Majora's Mask and at least my theory of Zelda Wii U. So if I'm correct, you know, a Majora's Mask remake would be perfect for next year on Nintendo 3DS. And, you know, Project Moonfall will be successful. And the last game on this list. Now, this one I couldn't just, and I almost ended this list with Majora's Mask, but I couldn't do that. It would be way too predictable, you know. So I ended this list with something completely different that nobody really expected. A game that nobody expected, but everybody would totally play, and that is Metroid Prime 3. Alright, I also kind of thought of, this was a hard choice for me because, I mean, I was going to put Majora's Mask as the last one, but I was like, that's way too predictable. So then I thought about, well, what about Metroid Prime? I was like, well, that'll work, but then you would have to do Metroid Prime 2 and 3 as well. You can't put all three of those on one cartridge. You know, you could possibly do that on Wii U, do Metroid Prime Trilogy, but remaking Metroid Prime 3 on 3DS would be incredible. You know, and it would be a starting point to actually rebuilding the series, you know, and trying to recover from, you know, the other one. You know, that we don't want to talk about. We don't want to talk about that game. We're not going to mention it. It is the red-headed stepchild of the frigging, you know, Metroid canon, and it totally ruins his timeline. And why, Nintendo? But yes, this would be a first step in rebuilding the series. You know, because I do believe 2016 will be the year of Metroid. I do believe Metroid will come back in 2016 in a big way on Wii U, and this could be the starting point. You know, you can imagine this game coming out around December time, around Christmas time, you know, to be the big seller on Wii U. I mean, on 3DS. They could very well do this on Wii U too. I mean, a Metroid Prime Trilogy on Wii U would be awesome. But the thing that they must do for this is they must have online multiplayer. You know, Metroid Prime 3 with online multiplayer would be awesome. You know, or either what they could do is if they did this on Wii U, they could do a Metroid. They could do like the Master Chief Collection on Xbox, where they have the Metroid Prime trilogy and they have online for all of them. You know, and they have all the stages and stuff. Which, I mean, that's a serious doubt that they would do that. But it's a thought. With Metroid Prime 3 on 3DS, the new 3DS, with, you know, awesome graphics and multiplayer, would probably be a system seller. I know I would buy the game, you know, because I played the hell out of Metroid Prime Hunters on DS online, just killing people. It was fun. You know, so doing that again would be awesome. Alright, so that's about it for this video. This ran a little bit long, but I think I'm just long-winded. I'm trying to stop that, you guys. I'm trying to. But, yeah, so look out for my next videos. Tell me how you like the new microphone. Tell me how it sounds. If it sounds awesome to you guys, tell me that in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and keep it real.